In the bustling heart of Mumbai's crowded street market, under the golden glow of the setting sun, a man in a tailored suit knelt on the dusty pavement, his eyes wide with disbelief. The air was thick with the scent of jalebis frying in hot oil and the chatter of vendors haggling with customers. Surrounded by crates of colorful sweets, gulab jamuns dripping in syrup, barfi studded with nuts, and stacks of pettas, the millionaire, Raj Kapoor, stared up at the young woman behind the cart. Her simple cotton sari was stained with sugar dust, and her hands, calloused from years of labor, clutched a ladle. "If I buy all the sweets," he had joked moments earlier, his voice light and teasing, "will you marry me?" But her answer wasn't a laugh or a polite refusal. It was something that shattered his world. And as the crowd around them froze, whispering in shock, Raj's heart pounded. Had he just stumbled into the greatest mistake or the miracle of his life? But wait. What if I told you this wasn't just a joke gone wrong? What if her words revealed a secret that could upend everything he knew about love, loss, and redemption? Stick around, because this story is about to take you on an emotional roller coaster you won't forget. Let's rewind to where it all began, 3 months earlier. Raj Kapoor was the epitome of success in India's tech world. A 35-year-old self-made millionaire who had built an empire from a single app that revolutionized online shopping for rural villages. His penthouse overlooked the Arabian Sea, his garage housed a fleet of luxury cars, and his schedule was packed with board meetings and celebrity galas. But beneath the polished exterior, Raj was hollow. His parents had passed away in a car accident when he was 20, leaving him to raise his younger sister alone. She had married and moved abroad, and now, in his sprawling mansion, the silence echoed louder than any deal he closed. He filled his days with work, but nights were spent scrolling through social media, envying the simple joys of others, families laughing over street food, couples sharing stolen glances in the rain. One rainy afternoon, seeking escape from another monotonous boardroom session, Raj decided to wander the streets of his childhood neighborhood in Mumbai's old quarters. The monsoon had turned the roads into rivers, and umbrellas bobbed like colorful boats in a sea of people. That's when he first spotted her, Asha Devi, the 28-year-old sweet vendor whose cart was a beacon of warmth amid the downpour. Her stall, inherited from her late father, was a humble wooden setup on wheels, adorned with strings of fairy lights that flickered defiantly against the storm. Asha stood there, her dark hair tied in a practical bun, serving hot sweets to shivering customers with a smile that could melt the coldest heart. She wasn't strikingly beautiful in the conventional sense, her features were plain, marked by the subtle scars of hardship, but there was a quiet strength in her eyes, a resilience that drew Raj in like a moth to a flame. He approached casually, ordering a plate of rasgullas to shield himself from the rain under her makeshift awning. "These look delicious," he said, flashing his charming smile, the one that sealed multi-million-dollar deals. Asha nodded politely, her voice soft but steady. "They're made with love, sir. That's the secret ingredient." As she handed him the plate, their fingers brushed, and for a split second, Raj felt a spark he hadn't experienced in years. He lingered, asking about her recipes, and she shared stories of her father's traditions, how he taught her to knead dough at dawn and infuse each sweet with memories of happier times. Raj found himself returning the next day, and the day after, not just for the sweets, but for the conversations that filled the void in his soul. Asha's life was a stark contrast to Raj's opulence. She lived in a cramped one-room apartment in a chawl with her widowed mother and 2 younger siblings. A brother studying engineering on a scholarship and a sister dreaming of becoming a teacher. Her days started at 4 a.m., sourcing ingredients from wholesale markets, preparing batches of sweets by hand, and pushing her cart through traffic-choked streets until midnight. Money was always tight, medical bills from her mother's chronic illness ate into their savings, and Asha had sacrificed her own education to keep the family afloat. Yet, she carried it all with grace, finding joy in small victories, like a child's delighted grin over a free sample or a regular customer's heartfelt thank you. She had dreams too, buried deep, to expand her stall into a proper shop, to send her siblings to better schools, and maybe, one day, to find love that saw beyond her struggles. As weeks turned into a budding friendship, Raj began opening up. He shared his loneliness, the pressure of his empire, and how money had bought him everything except peace. Asha listened without judgment, offering wisdom from her simple life. "Wealth is like sugar, sir," she once said, stirring a pot of halwa. "Too much, and it overwhelms the taste. Balance is what makes it sweet." Raj laughed, but her words lingered. He started helping her in small ways. Fixing her cart's broken wheel with his connections, or anonymously paying for her mother's medicines through a charity fund. Asha suspected but never confronted him. Instead, she repaid with homemade treats delivered to his office, wrapped in newspaper with handwritten notes of gratitude. But challenges loomed like storm clouds. Raj's high society friends mocked his slumming it phase, warning him that a street vendor could never fit into his world. "She's after your money, Raj," his best friend sneered over whiskey at a rooftop party. "Wake up before you make a fool of yourself." Doubt crept in, and Raj pulled away for a few days, burying himself in work. Meanwhile, Asha faced her own trials. Her brother fell ill with dengue, racking up hospital bills that threatened to bankrupt them. She worked double shifts, her hands blistered and eyes heavy with exhaustion. One night, as she closed her stall, a group of rowdy men harassed her, demanding free sweets and making crude jokes. She stood her ground, but the fear shook her to the core. That's when the first real cliffhanger hit. Raj, unable to stay away, showed up at her stall just as the men grew aggressive. He intervened, his voice commanding as he called security from a nearby mall, perks of his status. The men scattered, but Asha turned to him with tears in her eyes. "Why do you keep coming back, sir? I'm not worth the trouble." Raj's heart raced. Would she push him away for good, or was this the moment their worlds collided forever? He didn't leave. Instead, he helped her pack up, and under the streetlights, they shared their deepest fears. Raj confessed his emptiness, how he envied her purpose. Asha revealed her sacrifices, the fiancé who had abandoned her years ago when her father's business failed, calling her damaged goods. Their bond deepened, turning from friendship to something unspoken yet profound. Raj began inviting her to neutral places, a quiet park for tea, or a temple where they prayed side by side. He learned to appreciate the rhythm of her life, joining her at dawn markets to haggle for spices, his expensive shoes muddied but his spirit alive. Yet, societal barriers intensified. Asha's mother, traditional and protective, worried about the class divide. "He's from another world, Beta," she warned. Hearts break when realities clash. Raj's sister, visiting from abroad, echoed similar concerns during a video call. "Brother, love isn't a fairy tale. What about your reputation? The media would eat this alive." Raj grappled with these doubts, questioning if his feelings were genuine or just a rebellion against his sterile life. One evening, during a heated argument with his board members over a risky investment, he realized how Asha's influence had changed him. He advocated for ethical practices, prioritizing village suppliers over profits. The second cliffhanger came during a festival night. Diwali lights twinkled everywhere, and Asha's stall was swamped with orders. Raj arrived with a gift, a beautiful silver anklet, symbolizing his growing affection. As he slipped it on her foot in a quiet moment, a paparazzo snapped photos from afar. The next morning, tabloids exploded. Tech tycoon romances street vendor, fairy tale or folly? Asha's world shattered. Neighbors gossiped, customers leered, and her family faced ridicule. She confronted Raj in tears. "This is destroying everything I've built. How can we ever bridge this gap?" Raj stood speechless. Had his carelessness ruined their chance at happiness, or could they fight back together? They chose to fight. Raj used his influence to quash the rumors, issuing a statement about respecting privacy and supporting local entrepreneurs. Asha, empowered by his stand, opened up to her family about her feelings. Slowly, bridges formed. Raj hosted a modest dinner for Asha's family at his home, where her mother tasted his awkward attempt at cooking dal, leading to laughter that eased tensions. Challenges persisted. Asha's business hit a slump from the scandal, forcing her to take a loan from shady lenders. Raj offered help, but she refused, insisting on independence. "I need to stand on my own, Raj. That's how I'll know this is real." He respected her, instead mentoring her on scaling her business digitally, helping her launch an online order system that revived her sales. As months passed, their love blossomed amid trials. Raj learned humility, volunteering at shelters and donating to causes Asha championed. She discovered vulnerability, allowing him to share her burdens without losing her strength. They faced a major test when Asha's mother suffered a heart scare, requiring expensive surgery. Raj arranged the best care anonymously, but when Asha found out, she was furious at first, then grateful, realizing love meant leaning on each other. Resolution came in waves, her mother's recovery, the sibling successes, and Raj's company thriving with a new social impact focus. Now, back to that fateful evening in the market. Raj, overwhelmed by his feelings, had knelt impulsively. "If I buy all the sweets," he joked, hiding his nerves, "will you marry me?" The crowd hushed. Asha looked down, her eyes misty. "No, Raj," she said firmly, shocking him to his core. His face paled. Had he misread everything? But then she smiled through tears. "I won't marry you for sweets or money. But if you promise to love me for who I am, flaws, struggles, and all, then yes. 1,000 times yes." The market erupted in cheers as Raj pulled her into an embrace. They married in a simple ceremony blending traditions, his wealth funding community feasts, her sweets gracing every table. Years later, they built a chain of sweet shops empowering women vendors, proving love transcends barriers. And there you have it, an inspiring tale of how true connection, forged through challenges, can sweeten even the bitterest lives. Remember, it's not about what you have, but who you share it with. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and subscribe for more emotional journeys that remind us of life's real treasures. Thanks for watching.